Greetings, friend. It's Coleraine or Coleraine Tarot here on YouTube. My pronouns are they, them. And we are going to get into this beautiful spirit guide message. I was feeling so connected to my guides, and I really felt like they wanted to open the door for the guides of others to come through so that I may bring you a message today, and hopefully it will support you on your spiritual path. Now, if you already are connected to your guides and you know exactly what group you are meant to listen to, or groups, plural, then you can head to the timestamp in the description. I'm sure you know where to go. Otherwise, I'm going to give a little explanation on what spirit guides are and why I'm going to connect to them and how. So, today, the spirit guides that I'm connecting with are based on my understanding of spirit guides, and the way that I've always seen spirit guides, and I've continued to learn and grow alongside spirit guides, is that spirit guides can show up in a plethora of forms. So they can be, elemental forces, things that we experience through changes in nature or our experience with nature. But they can also be, things that are channeled from other humans, and they can represent these extra forces that we experience within relationships, and the ways that we're connected to one another in the earth plane. As well, the spirit guides in my experience are oftentimes, they work in ways that we don't always understand, in terms of how they communicate, in terms of their perspectives and messages. Sometimes we think that they haven't even told us something, but they've given us a gem of wisdom and insight that we don't understand until, weeks or months to come, even sometimes years. So for me, spirit guides are very miraculous forces that are oftentimes intertwined with our own experience of self, and that's how I'm going to be bringing them through. As well, I wanted to mention that I personally see deities as being syncretized with spirit guides, and sometimes spirit guides are syncretized with deities, and they will reveal aspects of personality to us through these human revelations, these human depictions of these spiritual beings. So keep that in mind, as my beliefs do influence the way that the reading will go. And I wanted to give you some insight into how I will be approaching this. In terms of the way that I contact spirit guides, I do it through my clairsenses, and you also will be able to receive information and insight from your guides, from these clairsenses, while you are experiencing the channeling. So remain open, remain ready to receive, and I am ready to read for you. So I will see you in your group. Greetings, group 1. You selected this first shell. This is your reading. So right away, I was feeling like the spirit guide that is connected to you, if you were attracted to this first group, this spirit guide feels very peaceful, respectful, and essentially this spirit guide isn't going to be bothering you at times where you aren't setting the intention for them to be present in your space. And yeah, this spirit guide is really going to honor your boundaries. And as well, I will say that there's definitely a connection to the water, and especially the ocean, when it comes to this spirit guide, since they did want me to represent this group with the shell. I also feel like there may be potentially a connection to the jaguar spirit guide, or the animal spirit for this group. because they're showing me the patterns on the shell kind of being like a leopard print. Yeah. So the cards that we have here are Mary Magdalene's Sacred Marriage, and this can represent a deity that may be syncretized to this spirit guide, and they may, you know, if you resonate, of course, always only take what you feel like is meant for you or something that you want to work with, because that is the most important part, especially of doing work with spirit guides, especially. We are the ones in body who set the tone, and I think that that's part of what this spirit guide wants to teach you, and help you to come into deeper contact with, is about allowance and discernment and understanding what you want versus what you don't want. Because certain guides, they will reach out to you and they will, you know, present their energy to you. Sorry. Hope the noise that my cat's making isn't bothering you. But yeah, they will make certain aspects of themselves known, and I've personally had some spirit guides come forward where I did not want to interact with that energy, and you know, they're not gonna be taking the time to disrupt your space, to disrupt your energy, unless you allow their influence to essentially have an effect on you. But this is why it's really important for you to be protecting. And that was the other, like, very first thing that I heard from this guide, is that they are a guardian spirit of sorts for you. And I feel like a lot of you may have been feeling the effects of maybe like spiritual boundaries, or the effects of not cleansing your energy when doing spiritual work. But there's something here around learning to regulate your energy and be more conscious about what you are bringing in, so that you can be more conscious of what you are also sending out. And that is all about Mary Magdalene, Sacred Marriage, what we are choosing to co-create with, what we are choosing to make a part of our life, what we are marrying, what is the foundation of our existence. With the chakras too, the 4 guardian angels, okay, I didn't even realize that the guardian angels are on here. So this guide may be your guardian angel, and it says, call upon the guardians of our psychic energy. I'm definitely feeling like there is, again, a lot of like water, ocean energy for this group. And my cat's agreeing with me on that. Because sometimes when we get in contact with the ocean, as well as the moon, can represent these kind of boundaryless areas of reality. And if we get too caught up in the psychic energy of being in contact with so much, it can overwhelm us and actually dissolve us of our individual understanding, and kind of pollute our chakra system. So, moving on to your tarot, we have the World, which is an earth card, and the Phoenix, transformation, reinvention, and legacy. The One of the Oracle, Mercury, business, salesmanship, fabrication. 6 of Air, Ursa Minor, identity, essential nature, and awareness. So yes, this guide is definitely getting you to be aware of your own personal self and the symbols and synchronicities that represent each conditional version of yourself, not getting attached to an ego-based identity of self, but being able to be aware of this transcendent nature of self, this self beyond the self that transcends the self that reminds us that we are in every single person, just as much as we are unique. But also, this guide is wanting to get you to appreciate that unique self, to not turn away from yourself or abandon that self. Again, with the synchronicity, it's like being able to appreciate these unique things that you resonate with. For example, to me, something that's been reaching out and connecting with me a lot is the snake spirit. But I know a lot of people are really averse to the snake spirit. So that would be something that, yes, is within our human collective. It's something we share, that is within that shared self. But it may not resonate with every person's individual built self. With the moon here as well, this is water. Subconscious, indecision, critique, and sensitivity in Pisces. The Hierophant, more earth. Taurus, traditional ideology, systems, and ownership. All 5 of these cards, a lot of them, 3 of them, are major arcana. So this is about you're transcending, you're transforming, you're changing. I wouldn't be surprised if you had a lot of 12th house energy either in your birth chart or going on within the current transits as you're watching this. And 12th house energy is about that spiritual transcendence, about loss, about release, about mental health, about the understanding and experience of the individual self. Phoenix, reinvention, legacy. This is about potentially big life changes too, maybe about moving, changing job. It's a pivot, this guide is showing me. Mercury too, this is about how we craft ourselves, how we communicate the self, how we inform others of who we are. Well, that's what I'm seeing this fabrication being. This is like how we show up in the world. And the subconscious, the moon, this is like going deep within the emotional body in order to face these Taurus traditional ideology systems and ownership, the way that we take ownership of our lives, the way that we express this unique self, the Hierophant, the way that we channel our connection to the divine, the way that we discern, what is my belief system? What do I want to act like based on these beliefs that I find? We have here fulfillment and the Luna moth as well. So fulfillment is showing a crow, and there's like a witch standing on a rock. It almost looks like they're like in the middle of the water. I would imagine this witch has like flown over the water, found this rock sticking out of the water, and landed on it to hold up this offering to this crow that maybe represents a deity. I feel like this guide is saying, especially with the bird here and the fish again, that they're really connected to the birds and the water, because even this Taurus, this Hierophant card, is really looking like they're coming up out of the water. They may want an offering of water of some kind to help, or maybe even the 4 elements together too, because there's all 4 elements on this card with the chakras. And if you don't believe in offerings, don't let me impose on your practice. But there may be something where either you offer these things on your altar, or you go to a place and you bring together all of the elements to connect with this deity. I feel like they're wanting to incorporate a lot of balance into your life, so that you can see yourself in the balance of these many energies, so that you can find this fulfillment. And the crow is like the energy of sacrifice, the energy of giving something up in order to see deeper, to see beyond, to create magic. And the Luna moth too shows that what you've been doing is going into the darkness, coming alive within the darkness, within the trying to reinvent, trying to understand your awareness, to become more aware within your path. And the Luna moth also speaks of transformation again, like the phoenix. What is my legacy? What do I want to leave behind? The Moon. What is my role in a group? What am I being influenced by? What beliefs are mine? And what beliefs have been fabricated in order to sell me a story? I'm definitely feeling the Taurus energy too as I pick up this card, and I notice that there is a kind of like bull skull on this card. We even have Taurus here. So definitely Taurus, Pisces energy, Moon, Ocean, and Mary. Maybe even looking into the story of Mary Magdalene. What did she do? How may her story be relevant to you? And I'm sorry if I've been holding up these cards and you haven't been able to see them, but I think you should be able to see them on the table. I'm going to read you what it says in the guidebook for Mary. Just one moment. Okay, I found it. But I do want to mention, during your reading, I had quite a few interruptions and just kind of disruptive energy. And I don't know if there have been things that you feel have been disrupting your sense of self or your ability to connect with yourself. But Mary, especially if you do want to work with Mary Magdalene, she's saying that she wants to come through and help you to create this sacred space to connect with yourself, to push the distractions aside, to not blame the distractions, to be able to have compassion with the distractions, but still find a sense of self-understanding. And she's also pointing me to the sacral chakra right now. So if you've been doing chakra work, sacral would be a good way to start with her. So she says, you are your own twin flame. Spiritual wholeness leads to new experiences of intimacy and love. And I just said intimacy, very, very much like intimacy. So being able to be seen. Mary Magdalene was the author of a gospel and chief apostle to the disciples. She has roots in Gnosticism, where she's worshipped as an aspect of the Holy Sophia. Her Ankh pendant signifies her role as priestess of the Egyptian goddess Isis. Mary holds the Shekinah flame, the feminine aspect of God. She presides over the twin flame union, a self-knowledge journey that brings higher consciousness to partnerships. And I'm going to leave it at that, because actually I'm like very in love with the synchronicities that just came through there, because of this message of bringing you closer to yourself and to self-understanding. Because that is what this message was all about. Accessing the subconscious in order to be more fulfilled within yourself. And that is very sacral energy. So I will see you in another video, my friend. If you are interested in a personal reading, I have that available below. I want to thank you so much. I want to thank Mary. I want to thank, any other guides that were present and were able to be introduced to you through this energy transmission. And I will see you in another video. Bye. Greetings, group 2. If you selected this rutilated quartz, let me make sure you can see it. This is your reading for connecting to your spirit guide. Now, the first thing that I heard when I was selecting your crystal, actually, was the beginning of Bohemian Rhapsody, which is interesting because I don't often listen to this song, but I heard like is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. So there's something like kind of dramatic about this spirit guide, and also an acknowledgement of your attempts to escape from the pain of your reality, or avoid the experiences that you've been having. And we're going to go right into the cards because they are totally backing up this message. We have Cephas, foolishness, anxiety, and reluctance, the 7 of air. 7 of water, Centaurus, response, impermanence, and anticipation. The 9 of earth, Pavo, vigilance, watchfulness, and supervision. So I'm going to stop here with the tarot, and then we're going to move into the oracle, because I'm feeling like there's messages coming through from the tarot. First of all, you have two sevens. So 7 may be an important number. Sevens are about individuation, understanding your own unique spiritual journey, and having a strong resolve to carve a unique path for yourself that involves your own healing and self-fulfillment as well. With Cephas, this is like kind of getting swept up in maybe the drama, opinions, or problems of others around you, as well as your own foolishness, anxiety, reluctance to face the reality of a situation. For some of you, it's like your own emotions, your own like intuition is trying to tell you something, but you're like avoiding being present in the body, avoiding being present with the feeling of the emotions. The 7 of water here too, with response, impermanence, and anticipation. I feel like the Centaurus is like more of an astrological signifier for you to go and look at where Chiron is in your chart, either natally or currently. And I feel like, at least right now when I'm filming this at the end of 2024, Chiron is in Aries and has been for a little while. So maybe looking to where Aries is in your chart. It may be showing this new beginning in terms of healing and also addressing conflicts that you've been having in your life. And as well, your responses to these conflicts, because it may, conflict is an inevitable part of life. And often we actually have the issue with conflict when it comes to our own reaction to the conflict. If we can handle and face conflict as soon as it crosses our path, it's going to be a lot different of an experience than if we push down the conflict and avoid the conflict until it blows up and we can't avoid it any longer, which I feel like some of you are doing. That's why the message is coming through. As well, I feel like there's a separate message with the word anticipation, that some of you are anticipating conflict where there isn't any conflict, and this is out of a hypervigilance or anxious nervous system response. And so for a lot of you, I just am really feeling like taking time for creating safety within your life and safe containers to feel, to process. This is what this spirit guide is trying to bring in for you. They're also pointing me to the significance of the rutilated quartz. Rutilated quartz is for bringing in healing and specifically connection to angelic realms. And if you don't really know or resonate with what that means, the angelic realm, in my opinion, is the understanding of higher unconditional love energy, our deeper connections to each other and to the source of all life. That is devoid of dogma, devoid of human understanding. It's more about the bonds that hold the universe together, really. And we'll leave it at that for now. And I meant to bring up what Chiron is about. They aren't going to let me move on from that. So Chiron may be involved in this spirit guide. This spirit guide may be like Chiron. Chiron is a centaur figure in Greek mythology, but Chiron is known as the sage, the shaman, essentially, and is the one whose pain becomes his ability to heal, in a very shorthand way to describe that more complicated story. So if you are resonating with it, it would definitely be an important figure to look into. I also am feeling like the energy of just horses in general are connected to this guide, as well as potentially Sagittarius energy. And it is Sagittarius season at the time of me filming this, so that may be relevant. Pavo, vigilance, watchfulness, and supervision. This guide is saying that they have been watching you, and not to scare you. It's not like they're sitting in the corner watching your every move, but it's like they're observing the energy that you are. I'm just seeing someone's energy going up and down and fluctuating quite a bit, and they're making sure that you know that you're taken care of. And I'm seeing this almost like in a situation of the oracle. So this guide may be bringing through channeled messages to you quite often, letting others kind of act as the channeled guide, the one to provide you with this insight, with this information. Supervision. Maybe this guide is trying to warn you of something as well, or give you some foresight for some difficulties that you're having that you may not be ahead of, in a sense. Like if you don't sit down to process certain emotions that have been coming forward, you may get caught up. For some of you, it's going to be like a financial issue that's resulting from these emotional things, or getting caught up in too many, I'm seeing other things where it's like you're expending too much like energy, because it's like the experience of like overbooking your calendar, like not knowing, I don't know, things just kind of like add up, and then you have to deal with the consequences later. It's just the energy that they're showing me. Okay, we're going to move into the oracle cards. So we have the wish card here with kind of these crows perched over this witch who almost looks like they're moving on the wind. So there's a lot of movement that this guide is wanting to inspire within you to follow your wishes, your dreams. What do you wish would happen in a certain situation? How to acknowledge that, even if you don't feel like it's a possibility. Like how do you sit with the emotion of desire? Because sometimes it's not even just about avoiding the more difficult or challenging emotions. It can be about how we avoid the things that we want too, like not letting ourselves like dream. My cat's confirming that too. We have the nature card from that same deck, the Earthy Souls and Spirits Oracle. And this shows an owl sitting on a moon that's kind of fallen. It's like the outline of where the moon used to be is up in the sky, but now they've come down to Earth. And I feel like this is about you being able to see your own reflection, or like double up on your reflection. So it's like a reflection of a reflection. I hope that makes sense. I feel like you're going to know what that means. It's like maybe, let's say you have kids and they're reflecting an energy within yourself back to you, but they're also maybe like they have a friend over and their friend is reflecting back to them an energy that they're reflecting of you. Does that make sense? It's like a reflection of a reflection. And that's going to land differently for each of you, but yeah, I'm just feeling like nature. It's like something's showing you your nature, your tendencies, the disposition, the impermanence of how you've been behaving. And you are being guided through these responses, through these emotional conditions and experiences. With the serpent too, this is showing me that you're shedding skin. You're getting to the root of an issue. Again, both of these cards are mirroring that, going down into the roots, and even here there's roots. And even if there's like been challenges with the crows too, because crows can sometimes, especially when there's like a big murder of them, they're gathering somewhere. Maybe you've had crows gathering at your home. They can represent like a challenging or difficult time, but it also shows that there is the impermanence, the ability to fly away. My cat is doing the most right now. She just like jumped on my lap and screeched. It's so funny. So I don't know, maybe you need to like move your body and also do like a movement and sound meditation is what your guides are showing me, where like you move something and then like let yourself emote through like grunting, not through like words. I don't know, this guide is like very physical, and that takes me to the next card that you have here, Kali Tromanagmo, Goddess of Time. So Ma Kali is here. Conquer ignorance and delusion through helping others. So if you have a tendency to become really self-pitying, or like a coping mechanism you have is isolation, Kali is really wanting to push you to ground yourself, and go and help others. Even if you don't want to spend time physically around other like living beings, she's showing me someone walking through a cemetery, and that is a beautiful way to honor and connect with the energy of Kali as a spirit guide. Just to connect with this idea of mortality, of release, the beauty in the final resting place, she's telling me as well. And another thing that this guide that you have here, even if it isn't Kali, they're being, reflected in this energy. But the connection and that you may have to fire, and what's it called? The ability that you may have to have fire as your ally, fire as a cleanser, fire as a purifier, fire as a transformer, as the one that can take and dissolve things. So you may even need to burn certain things that you own, like journals or photos, things that are being called to be released, or and it always, I don't want anybody burning their house down, because I have heard of Kali's energy causing that to happen. So just be safe and take the precautions that you can to maybe even include other elements like water, or other like containing the fire within a fireproof container. Because take it from me, one time I melted a metal piece. Nothing caught on fire or anything, but definitely, be mindful. Fire is powerful. But yeah, conquer ignorance and delusion through helping others. And finally, you have here, this is a potential other deity that may be syncretized into this spirit guide energy, and this is the energy of the dryad, and it says protect your energy. So especially if you've been doing spiritual work to support others, to be focused on the problems of others as well. Maybe people have been leaning on you, especially just, venting, like talking about their stuff. Take the time to protect yourself. Dryads are fae spirits that live at the base of trees, and you even have here the serpent that's at the base of the tree, and the moon at the base of the tree. So there's something about either you going and sitting at the base of a tree to protect your energy, to release old energy, to get in a state where you can accept yourself as you are and notice these responses, or to also just sit with the tree, to connect with the tree's energy, to kind of get out of the kind of trap that we can get into with the ego, because that's also another symbol of Kali, is that she reminds us of our ability to dissolve the ego, to not get caught up in the ego mind's kind of blame games that we can get into with others, where we're really focused on the details of a situation, or feeling slighted, or he did this to me, she isn't acknowledging this, and it like takes us back and strips us down to our roots, to our nature, to help us understand that there are maybe bigger things to be worried about, bigger things to be concerned about, not getting caught up in other people's drama, still caring, of course, but also being able to acknowledge when we're avoiding feeling certain emotions at the expense of others. I really want to look into the dryad really quick for you before I close the reading, and give you an understanding of what this being is trying to show you if you do want to work with dryads moving forward. It says dryads are, they're pointing me to another message at the top that I skipped, and it says clear yourself from energetic clutter, tune into tree wisdom. So maybe working with the world tree might be a symbol for this spirit guide. They're even showing me like a burning tree, so I don't know if that connects. And they're showing me another song, so maybe music is like really important to you. But I'm hearing the song Burning House. I think it's by Cam something. If you look up Burning House Cam, you'll probably find it. But yeah, she's talking about a burning house, and like the changing of a relationship and things like that. Okay, dryads are wood nymphs or nature spirits in Greek mythology, particularly of oak trees. There are forms of dryads in numerous cultures around the world. Dryads protect and care for the tree they're born with and inhabit their tree's aura. Channels of communication for its spirit, dryads are a tree's messenger, its psychic voice. They are powerful energy healers and can be invoked for space and aura clearing purposes. Let's see. Yeah, this is talking about being empathic. So you may have taken on some energy that's like not really yours. And they're showing me to the additional meanings of this card. Take a break from social media. Bring plants into your living space to purify the energy. Get involved in tree planting projects and learn more about tree wisdom. The invocation. I respect and care for my energy field. I recognize the healing power of trees. Yeah. Asking for clearing. And this is, yeah, sorry, I'm just looking to see, give thanks to the tree. That's what they're showing me. So definitely trees can help you and be supportive of you, especially if you're feeling like you're so drained psychically that you don't have the energy to like be doing the normal like energy hygiene you may have been used to. Yeah, as well, just calling on Kali. She's gonna help you dissolve that ego, boo. I don't know why I'm feeling that energy from her, but yeah, this guide is very, they almost want you to like start to like laugh a little bit with your pain, and so that you can like bring it deeper into the body, and know that you're protected and you're loved, and you do have guidance watching over you. So that is all I'm seeing for you, group 2. I have so very much enjoyed your reading today. If you are interested in a personal reading, I have those available down at my website below. And yeah, I want to thank every force in the universe, every being in the universe that has come together to facilitate this beautiful reading today. I'm sending you so much love, sending your energy back to you so that you may connect with it and grow from the reading and the transmission today. And I will see you in another video, my friend. Bye. Greetings, group 3. This is your spirit guide reading, especially if you selected this little heart locket. So for this group, I'm really feeling like there's quite a dense, not a dense, volume of energy here. I was feeling some ancestors, I was feeling some galactic beings, I was feeling animal guides, so you've got quite a bit of spiritual energy on your side, and honestly like many spirit guides to choose from. So you may feel and sense that there are quite a few different spirit guides reaching out to you during this reading, and that is so okay. So this may be a connection with many different guides in your life. Just take what resonates, as always. So I'm going to start with introducing the cards, and then we're going to start getting into some messages. So we have Amoga Hasidi, Buddha, Guardian of the North. Cultivating a well-rounded personality brings fearlessness. And from the same deck over here, we have a devotee offering his gift of song. Your skills are the gifts you can share with others. You have the white buffalo down here, as well as the sea turtle from the same deck. We have Aquila, powerful ally, loyalty and honor, the queen of air. 15, comet, a sign of fate, harbinger of change. Saturn, number 6, transition, responsibility and adjustment. And hope. Okay, so I don't know if some of you are going through some grief, and that's why I was feeling the ancestors come forward. But there's something about, grief from death, from transition, letting something go. Sea turtle, going through a journey and having to carry both the wisdom and the pain of your ancestors. Understanding that the miracles that happen to them don't exist within just that one time. It's like the collapsing of time for you. I almost feel like a spiritual gift that they're trying to show you is something about time traveling, or maybe some of you are really into history, or you're really into antiques or something like that, where you're carrying pieces of the past into the present, into the future. My cat is confirming. She's always been speaking up through this reading today, during those important moments. And these things give you hope. They help to create, I'm almost seeing this person as, or this witch as being in like a bubble. You can see where the tree branches reach up and like hug around the head, and then they also, their shadows reach down below and hug between the feet. And I feel like this hope is a container for this knowledge, for this wisdom to be able to be nurtured within your life, to be kept safe. I'm seeing like there's a part of you right now that they're showing me is almost like a baby. It's kind of vulnerable, you know, it needs guidance, it needs support even. It needs the right space to be able to thrive, to assert itself, to make sense of the world, to appreciate the stories of the world, to listen, to take in. And I'm just really keeping drawn to the pipe of White Buffalo. And I know this is White Buffalo woman who brings the pipe to the Lakota, I believe. Hopefully I'm not misspeaking, but I believe she brings the pipe to the Lakota to let them know the secrets of the universe. The way to inhale. You know, you pack the herbs within the part that you ignite, and it creates a smoke. It's something that you share. It comes through the tube. And not just the physical aspect, it's also a way of sharing, a way of lifting and elevating the awareness, creating a circle. For some of you, you're being called to create new circles, maybe as you're going through this grief. Maybe it's a grief circle. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just an ancestral group. Maybe it's not even related to family at all. Maybe it's about creating new family, found family. The comet here is catching my attention because it's a sign of fate, a harbinger of change. Something that's reminding you about the wisdom of your home, to not abandon it completely. The wisdom of your roots. The wisdom of where you've come from. For some of you, I'm seeing you, again, with that gift that you have of time travel, to be able to time travel back into your early days of your life, so that you may heal certain things that you've been carrying within your body for a long time. And these may even be things that you're carrying from your ancestors. The Aquila, powerful ally, loyalty, and honor, is connected to this, because this is reminding you, it's like the spirit guide really wants you to, they keep repeating, remember your roots, remember your roots. So I don't know if this is about connecting to culture that you've been estranged from, connecting to people that you've been estranged from. Don't, take this and then dishonor your boundaries. That's not what I'm saying. If somebody's estranged from you for a reason, then let that be. But go back and understand where you're placing your loyalty. Maybe you're unintentionally placing your loyalty to your roots in a way that is not honoring of yourself, of this part of you that's changing. It's meant to take up these parts of the lineage. Sometimes the gifts of tradition that we're given are actually traditions of change, or things that our ancestors signal to us, okay, it's time to evolve this tradition. It's time to change the way we've always done things. adapt to survive. The Queen of Air can be where we are making distinctions, where we are, again, that word estrangement, estranged from things, where we've set good boundaries or walked away. It's also about an enlightenment, a higher knowing, a knowledgeable mind, the honor that comes from cultivating knowledge. For some of you, this is about study and learning. Actually, for most of you, I feel like this is about study and learning. Saturn, too, transition, responsibility, and adjustment. This is saying that hope is something that is well earned. Hope is something that we cultivate through our responsible actions, through adjusting consistently, through being in conversation with change, through knowing that everything is constantly changing, and the ways that we create stability and security is actually through anticipating change, through listening to our instincts that have been programmed into us for a reason, as well as not allowing ourselves to be limited by the instincts on the journey, to remembering the teachings but not getting caught up in it. The white buffalo, especially with the pipe, it's like showing, some people may misuse the pipe. They may not understand the sacredness of its gathering when we gather around. But others may honor that. And alternatively even, some may want to stifle its sacredness, to keep it secret. I hope this is making sense. Because Saturn has all these animals present too. The snake, the owl, the bat, the mouse, the moth. There's lots of animal guides. Maybe one or all of those is resonating with you. Maybe it's the buffalo, maybe it's the sea turtle, maybe it's the eagle. Maybe it changes day to day, especially with Omoga Hasidi, who has so many faces, who has so many incarnations, so many representations. It reminds us that cultivating a well-rounded personality brings fearlessness. When we're adaptable, when we can change and transform, lean back on our wisdoms, on our instincts, on what we know, but also be able to learn, to grow. I'm thinking about a woman who came to a workshop that I hosted. Bless her. She was just such a loving and vulnerable soul. She really shared something that was burdening her at this workshop, and she talked about changes that were being made at her workplace and how she just felt like this old lady who didn't know anything. And that was like a very limiting belief that she was telling herself, kind of like a put down almost. But she turned it around, and at the end, when she was sharing, she was like, yeah, I am old, and that makes me valuable. Like this experience, this oldness, like Saturn, actually makes it so that I can be adaptable, because I know where I'm coming from, and I can remind the others. I can't step out on them in this time of transition. And that's the hope, recultivating hope, even when we're facing things that we don't know how we're going to be able to face them. Fearlessness. A well-rounded personality brings fearlessness. So this guide is really pushing you to the edge of what you're comfortable with, of what you know, helping you to try new things. And they see you like this, the devotee offering his gift of song. Your skills are the gifts you can share with others. I feel like if you've been feeling discouraged or been feeling like, should I just give up? This guide is providing you with a resounding no. Even if you tried to give up where you're at right now, You're going to go into another situation somewhere else where you're going to pick back right up where you left off, because Spirit has given you this gift to share. And you are skilled. Maybe you're like White Buffalo Woman and you resonate with her, being able to bring people a new awareness or a new skill or a new way of doing things. Your uniqueness, yes, it may set you apart, but it also sets you apart in a good way. Helps you to innovate. Helps you to commit to this adjustment, to making changes, to bringing hope. Let's see what deity may be syncretized with this spirit guide. And we have Mermaid of Lemuria, Joy. And this is kind of a different energy I'm feeling from the rest of it, but it's tying together something that I haven't brought in, that this guide feels very like water and earth combined. The water and earth elements. Maybe look to those places in your chart, either houses that are ruled by water and earth elements or signs, or if you have prominent placements in water or earth element signs. Mermaid of Lemuria. Lemuria was a place of spiritual telepathy in some ways, of intuitive expansion, matriarchal knowing, honoring the sacred feminine. And in that is joy. The joy really comes from our ability to just rest and just be, to enjoy something as it is. The Mermaid of Lemuria may be representational of this guide because they're inviting you to be adaptable by immersing yourself in the feeling, immersing yourself in multiple worlds, because I'm seeing this Mermaid of Lemuria is residing between the life on land and the life underwater. Let's see what this guide has to say from the guidebook before I let you go. Okay. Drop the worry habit, embrace lightheartedness. And this is also talking to the hope. Lemuria was a light-centered civilization where the peaceful inhabitants maintained an exceptionally pure connection to the divine. Lemurian knowledge was embedded within crystals, stones, plants, and the ocean. Mer people were an extension of the water element, vibrating to a note of pure joy. The mermaids carried the fluidity of the divine feminine and were expert at balancing energy through play, relaxation, dance, creative movement, and sound healing. These may be things that this guide is wanting you to engage with. I'm going to repeat. Play, relaxation, dance, creative movement, and sound healing. They freely expressed their carefree love of life. And they're just pulling me to a part of this passage that they want you to hear. Joy is your birthright and opens up creative solutions. Connecting to simple joys is the answer to any life challenge you may be handling right now. And my ear popped, so they're very much emphasizing that. This guide may come through as like memes, like things that are really funny, that get you to see the like things that you're already going through in a different light, not so heavy. And to not criticize yourself or be so harsh if you're going through repeating patterns and things like that. They're also inviting you to spend time near water or to create crystal grids as well. So there's something about very like what we would think of as spiritual activities, like very traditionally spiritual activities, things that they're kind of in the new age, like sound healing, meditation, things like that. This guide really wants you to connect with those things as healing modalities. The invocation that they want to bring forward is, I create pockets of joy every day. I swim with the tide of life. And even here, this person's on the coast. And your sea turtle too. Yeah, spend time expressing your love, even through devoted practice, through committing to something. I feel like routine is going to be really essential to connecting with this guide, to bringing them into your life. Yeah, loyalty, honor, devoting yourself, Saturn. And that will create more hope and also help you to feel fearless in facing challenges and accepting that challenges are a part of life and they actually enrich your life and help you to find that joy. This is all I'm seeing for you, my beautiful group 3. Thank you so very much for allowing me to read for you, to connect with your energy, to help you to connect to these messages. I want to thank every guide, every being in the universe that has come together for this reading today. I will see you in another video, my friend. And if you are interested in a personal reading, that is linked at my website in the description below. Bye. Greetings, group 4. This is your spirit guide reading. So we have here the Kunzite star that you selected with your group. Kunzite is for higher echelons of love, connecting to spiritual narratives of love that are beyond the limited perception or the conditions or the roles or relationships even that we form. And it expands our ability to attract value to us, whether that be value for self-worth or value in terms of the exchanges that we create with others and the ways that we can learn our self-worth in relationship. And it's interesting because as I was laying your cards out, I was like, I wonder if Aphrodite is going to come forward. And the first card up here of the deity cards that you have is Aphrodite, eternal love. And this beautiful blush pink color is all over your reading. I mean, it's with Ganesh, it's all over these cards, it's up here, it's here. And there's just a softness to this guide. I feel like a lot of you maybe have been in a harsher energy where you felt like you've had to be maybe a warrior, like you've maybe had to be struggling to keep your inner light alive, struggling to feel a sense of love, maybe even struggling around a feeling of enjoyment. And I feel like this guide is here. They may be in the form of Aphrodite or Isis, Aset, who also came out with sacred contracts. But they may be just a spirit guide that you know. So it's really up to you to determine and discern what this means for you. We also have here, I'll introduce the rest of the cards before I start channeling. I just feel like this guide wants me to get lost in their energy in a good way, like to be absorbed into this this energy of surrender, this energy of pleasure, this energy of self-acceptance, self-love, and self-reclamation as well. Yeah, okay, we're gonna go into the other cards. So I already introduced these two. You also have Dance with Ganesh, remover of obstacles. Give yourself over to joy and your life will flow. As well as 1,000-armed Avalokiteshvara, he who looks compassionately upon the earth. Quiet compassion is sometimes the best course. Yeah, these are beautiful messages. The Hanged Man, air, Vela, faith, guidance, and outside force. Monoceros, 3 of water, connectivity, appreciation, individuality. The Empress, earth, Virgo, curiosity, progress, perfection, beauty, and order. The Sun, water, Scorpius, intensity, passion, fearless initiative. Fairy tale, and you have the light here. What a beautiful card. I love that the light is sitting here next to the Sun with Scorpius, because I feel like this guide, I mean, even Isis over here is wearing the crown of the sun. So this may be a sun deity of some kind, or a guide that's connected to the light of the sun, or even maybe they connect with you at the solar plexus, the central sun of you, your inner sun. Maybe they're also showing me that they're energizing this sun to be able to draw value towards you, to help you to recognize your value. Maybe some of you are learning some financial planning, is what they're showing me. Or maybe you're adding into your budget the ability to invest in your sensuality. So maybe some of you haven't been doing anything, like you've been really strict or tight budget, and you haven't been factoring in your joy, the things that make you happy, the ways that money can contribute to you having good experiences and feeling safe and good in your body. Especially they're pulling me to dance with Ganesh. Ganesh may be someone that you want to work with, or maybe this guide for you. And he's the remover of obstacles. And he says, give yourself over to joy and your life will flow. There's multiple Ganesh cards in this deck. And so this particular version of Ganesh coming out is showing the more lighthearted, the Ganesh that wants to bring you to the party, that wants to introduce you to all his friends, to give you the connections, And I feel like this is showing that it's also time for you to go out and be sharing yourself with others, because you have something really magnificent to share. You're a really beautiful person with unique experiences and with a unique heart, with a lot of love to give. With this Monoceros, connectivity, appreciation, and individuality, this is also showing that, no one's jealousy, no one's judgment can change who you really are and the true value that you hold. And no one can exclude you, or even maybe if you have experienced exclusion, this doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It may mean that you just don't resonate with those people anymore. The Hangman is helping you. This guide wants you to have a different perspective on these obstacles that you've been facing. They're saying your faith, the guidance, and the outside force is going to get you through some really challenging times and help you to end up in places where you never imagined that you would have a seat at that table, or that you would be in that group, that you would belong in those places. This guide really, their role in your life is to help you dream with the fairy tale card. Even with the unicorn here, there's a lot of mystical and magical energy to this guide. They want to help you to stretch your knowledge of reality to what you think is possible, to what you think is true about yourself as well. With Virgo, curiosity, progress, perfection, beauty, and order. This is about seeing your own beauty and also kind of having the state of your existence be acknowledged. Like, if you've been really getting stuff done, checking things off your to-do list, making sure that you got your stuff together, that you've been on your routine, doing these things to care for yourself, this is showing an expression of the energy of your soul, that you're able to care, that you're able to provide and create beauty, that you're also able to just be beauty. that you function within this cooperative energy, right? Maybe you've been working really well with others to carry out tasks that they've asked you to. That you've been appreciating people. You've been honoring the individuality of yourself and others. Scorpius, the sun, is also about individual appreciation, intensity, passion, and fearless initiative. This is about the truth of the core of who you are. Being able to embrace that, to love yourself for that. Even in these moments of shadow, these moments of difficulty, darkness, and challenge, there is this like deep emotional understanding that you are passion, that what you're doing is your passion, that it is needed in this world, that your individuality is special, that even if you aren't special or unique in terms of being different from the crowd, that you're still needed, that you're still necessary, that maybe the things that draw you and connect you to others are what make you unique. I hope that's making sense. The light. This is about returning to the light in your life. Rediscovering the light. Being the light. Aset, Isis, she is the star. She is Sirius. Sirius the star. But yes, she is serious in her own ways. Serious about healing. Serious about opening your blockages, helping to strip you down to your core so that you're not confusing something that you're projecting your love for outside of yourself onto your value. If that makes sense. It says quiet compassion is sometimes the best course. Maybe you want to work with Avalokitesvara too, to help you to have compassion for others, to be able to show up in your multifaceted self, to be able to have, yes, maybe I'm this at work, maybe I'm this at home, but I'm so much more than that. There's so much more to me. Maybe I can't be 100% of who I am in every situation because maybe it's not appropriate. But that deep 100% whole self is still there, is still present for each of these experiences. And if it doesn't feel honored in each of these experiences, maybe it's time to create space for it to be honored. For this fearless initiative to pull me forward into the unknown from the faith and guidance that I'm receiving. I feel like there's such a deep spiritual acknowledgement, a deep spiritual connection in this group that you've been opening up to, that you've been accepting into your life, that you've been surrendering into, because you're curious. You understand the perfection in the imperfection, that the simple things are what make your life meaningful and whole, and that by having compassion for yourself and not making, everything into like the world is ending, that you're able to live in this fairy tale, that you can acknowledge the success that you've had because you've honored these sacred contracts with the universe. Let's see. I'm actually going to do another form of like divination. I'm going to shake this up in my hand and I'm going to ask your spirit guide to make this land on the card that I should read from the guidebook. We have the Empress, Earth. So this is from the Cosmos Tarot and Oracle, one of my all-time favorite decks. I think it was like my third or fourth deck. No, maybe even like the second deck I ever bought. It's just beautiful. One of the first decks I ever was introduced to as a new reader. So it's very special to me. It says, Virgo is the sixth sign of the zodiac, symbolizing purity, curiosity, order, and perfection. The constellation Virgo depicts a virgin who is traditionally seen as a sensitive, wide-eyed soul, intent on discovering more about the world and their place within it. Though today's Virgos are much more worldly than their naive symbolic counterpart, most still find comfort in sifting through the details of any new endeavor with an intense desire to grow with each experience. Interestingly, Virgos research not only how to learn new things, but also in preparation to fend off any individuals that may doubt their worldliness. So this is about worldly success, being able to be confident in the things that you want to go after, the fairy tale you want to create in your world, what you want to connect with. They tend to become connoisseurs of a wonderful variety of subjects as a side effect of their incredible thirst for knowledge. And for some of you, I'm seeing you kind of opening up to what you once thought was the superficial. Everybody goes through it on their spiritual journey where they start to kind of reject the world, and I feel like you're bringing back in that love of the senses and being able to use the senses in your magic. And that's what this guide is definitely wanting to bring you into, because Alsette was even showing me her aspect of connecting you to plant medicines, to perfumes, and the different indulgences that the earth has to offer. And even this Virgo card is showing somebody who's preparing all these different herbs to be used. And this light card is even very sensual too. Hopefully YouTube won't get mad at me for having so much sensuality on the table, but we'll see. Upright, this card references learning and growth. If a person has been feeling self-effacing or overcritical, a class-like atmosphere with solid deadlines may prove most helpful to gauge personal growth as well as a new understanding of one's abilities, emotions, or inspirations. Progress is more evident within an organized structure of milestones, because that is an underrated aspect of Venus energy, which is connected to Aphrodite as well. Venus is not just this hypersensual, beautiful energy. It's also about the ways that we define beauty and the ways that we structure beauty, and we're fed messages about beauty as well. So it may be that you've done enough deconditioning of certain things that you've imposed on yourself that now you're ready to embrace this spirit guide as someone who will help you, an energy that will help you to reconnect and redefine your experience of sensuality, of beauty, of appreciation, and success and achievement as well. Because when we take away the world's definitions of success and achievement, we often find that it takes a lot less than we think to be fulfilled. And I think they're wanting me to leave you with that. So thank you so very much for being here, my friend. I want to thank your guide for being here, for channeling through such a beautiful and clear message. I want to thank every other being in the universe that came forward to support this reading, this transmission. I will see you in another video, my friend. Till then, take care, enjoy your energy. If you are interested in a personal reading, I have that linked in the description box below, and I will see you again.